You ever wonder what's really going on inside a booming real estate market? Well, today we're getting a rare look inside Batumi in Georgia, and we're seeing it all through the eyes of a developer who's been on the ground for the past decade. We're going to break down their strategy, their brand new projects, and maybe most importantly, their advice for anyone thinking about investing. And this is all straight from an interview with Ollie from a company called Supergroup. So, what's causing this huge shift in the Batumi market? It really boils down to one simple question. Why are townhouses suddenly all the rage? I mean, this is a city famous for its skyline, all those high-rise apartments right on the sea. But suddenly, buyers want something else entirely. Let's dig into what's going on. And the answer? Well, it's actually super relatable. Ollie points out all those frustrations of apartment living that we all know so well, right? The noise, the nightmare of finding parking, and just not having a little patch of green to call your own. And it's exactly that feeling, that dissatisfaction, that's opening up this massive new opportunity. Okay, so let's jump right in and really get a handle on this townhouse trend in Batumi. This isn't just some passing fad. It's a real solution to those very real problems we were just talking about. The solution, as it turns out, is the townhouse. Think about it. It gives you that perfect mix of privacy, all the modern comforts you want, and of course, that little garden space everyone's craving. It's a direct answer to a huge gap in the market. It's giving people the kind of lifestyle you just can't get in a crowded apartment tower. And companies like Supergroup, well, they're smart enough to see this shift and are right there, ready to deliver. So who's the company that's really leading the charge on this trend? Well, that brings us to our next section. We're going to look at how a full decade of experience gives Supergroup a serious edge in this changing market. 10 years. I mean, just think about that. In the real estate world where things change so fast, a decade in one single market, that's a huge deal. It says everything about stability, about experience, about knowing a place inside and out. It means they've seen the ups and downs. They're not just jumping on a bandwagon here. They've been a part of shaping this market for a long, long time. And this timeline really tells the story of their journey, doesn't it? They got started 10 years ago, building a solid foundation with apartments and villas. So this move into townhouses isn't some random pivot. It was a strategic evolution that led them right here, to their current Secret Gardens project. And now they're ready to really hit the accelerator with 4 new projects on the horizon. This is what smart, calculated growth looks like. And speaking of that expansion, that brings us right to their project portfolio. Looking at a developer's pipeline is like getting a sneak peek into their future. You see their ambition, their strategy, and exactly where they're headed. So let's take a look at what they've got cooking right now. This is where you can really see their vision for the future, all built on that foundation of success we just talked about. It's the roadmap, plain and simple. Okay, let's break this down a bit. Secret Gardens is almost done. That's their proof that this townhouse idea works. Then boom, 4th season shows they're immediately doubling down on that winning formula. But they're not a one-trick pony. They're also diversifying with an 8th-floor building in Gonio, and they're going upscale with some luxury townhouses right downtown. To top it all off, they're even planning for the tourist market with an Airbnb-style hotel. See, this isn't just random construction, it's a full-blown strategy. All right, so a company with all this experience and a clear plan, what kind of advice do they have for someone looking to invest? This is where we get the inside scoop on how to do your homework, what people in the business call due diligence. Basically, it's the checklist of things you absolutely have to do before you put your money down. So what do you learn after a decade in the trenches? Well, Ollie shares some of his hard-earned wisdom on what to look for in any developer, not just his own company. And that's what's so great about this. It's not a sales pitch. It's just real, genuine advice from someone who knows this market backwards and forwards. And that kind of honesty, it's priceless. And here it is, a super simple but really powerful 3-step checklist. Step 1, check the company's history. Are they brand new or have they been around? We already know Supergroup has a 10-year track record. Step 2, go and actually visit their old projects. See the quality with your own eyes. Don't just trust the glossy pictures. And step 3, and this might be the most important one, talk to the people who've already bought from them. Are they happy? That's the real test right there. And this quote from Ali, it just perfectly sums up their whole philosophy. He says they're thinking long-term, another 10, maybe 20 years in Batumi. When a company thinks like that, they're not just trying to make a quick buck. They know their reputation, which is built on keeping clients happy, is absolutely everything. Okay, so let's quickly recap the main points here. First, the market in Batumi is definitely moving towards townhouses. Second, experience matters. A long track record is a really good sign. Third, A busy pipeline of future projects means the company is healthy and growing. And last but not least, the best thing you can do is go see their past work and talk to their clients. It's that simple. And that really leaves us with one big question for any investor, right? In a hot market, with all these new projects and tempting low prices popping up, what's actually more valuable? A cheap price tag today or a long history of getting it right? Something to think about for sure.